go after the terrorists, and I think that India should do the same. The message, don't mess with us. The idea behind Pegasus is to give governments tools to fight, to combat terror. Visit of Prime Minister Modi, and this was a game changer. I'm a true believer in the conscription model of compulsory military service. And in Israel, by the way, people do it very happily. Our philosophy in life was that terrorists cannot stay free and go around in their lives. I think it started also after the terrible attack in Munich Olympics against the Israeli athletes, when Prime Minister Golda Meir took the decision that all of them will be brought to justice. Either it's court or street justice, but no one will stay free and alive outside of the perpetrators, to send a strong message that we do not accept terrorism. And I think that this is a part of the DNA of Israel. We cannot accept that. We will do anything possible in our hands always to go after the terrorists, and I think that India should do the same. This is a message, don't mess with us, because if these people will think that we project weakness, they will come after us again, and we mustn't let that happen. Our defense cooperation is very long and very successful and very fruitful. The biggest effort that we are doing now, by the way, is the Make in India. Israel can be a very strong player in the Make in India plan. We think, by the way, that it's a smart plan. Israel is very happy to be a strong partner in this, in UAVs, in rockets, in missiles, and whatever defense systems, whatever is needed, we are very happy to cooperate. The idea behind Pegasus is to give governments tools to fight, to combat terror and organized crime. To give an advantage, really, you need an advantage over the terrorists. Israel understood also the negative potential of such capabilities, and we limit the export as a government, as a country. I mean, companies in Israel are not allowed to export private companies, defense capabilities without our authorization. So we do most of the restrict process with them, and we allow them only to export to governments, not only to state actors, and only to certain state actors. And hoping that these countries also would comply and use it in order to protect their citizens from threats of terror, especially. I think that our relations started a little bit slower than hoped, but the big change, in 1992 we established full diplomatic relations, but the big boost and change to our relations is the historic visit of Prime Minister Modi to Israel, and we have to say there were visits before that of the Indian President, of Israeli presidents, of Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, but the visit of Prime Minister Modi and a few months later in 2017, in January 18, Prime Minister Netanyahu coming, this was a game changer, I think, to the relations. We upgraded our relations to strategic partnership, and from that time on, I think everything was open for cooperation. All fields, everything was there, and our cooperation today is really, really outstanding, thanks to that change, a shift, I think, or push that was done, and what we call the dehyphenation. In a way, India came and said, we have the Palestinian issue, and we have Pakistan, and we have other issues. Israel will be dealt with as Israel. The interest we have with Israel, not the interest we have with the Palestinians. We will deal with them, with the Palestinians, or issues of Pakistan or other issues. And I think that this is a very healthy approach, and which enabled, and by the way, the Abraham Accords, I think, is a duplication by the Gulf countries of the same idea that was planted in the visit of Prime Minister Modi in Israel in 2017. Our trade really reached new heights. We topped $6 billion this year, which was a tremendous increase from last year, but okay, it was a COVID year. But also in tendency of the last few years, it's a big jump. And now Adani went to Israel and bought the Haifa port. It's so important from very different dimensions. First of all, for Israel, it's a strategic asset. We have only 2 ports in the Mediterranean. One of them will be owned by Adani For us, it's strategical, and the fact that we deposit our strategic assets with an Indian company shows a lot about the trust and intimacy between our countries. And I think that Adani, being such an important businessman here in this country, he will also pave the way for others to come to Israel. Things are going well. It's hard for me to say what it will do for India, but let me say what it does for Israel. I'm a true believer in the conscription model of compulsory military service. And in Israel, by the way, people do it very happily, because we understand that for us, the military is not a luxury. It's a need. We have to protect ourselves. So we know Israeli soldiers are not sent 2,000 miles away to fight wars of other people. We fight our own war, and we have to do that. And in this sense, I think that people like it. But this is the defense side of it. It's such an engine for so many other things, for connecting people to their country. If we speak about what Kennedy said, don't ask what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. In other words, he said, not exactly in these phrases. So it connects the people to the country. It creates the basis for the innovation, because we have a high-tech army, military. And, we take all the young 18 years old and we put them together, and they develop wonderful technology for the defense. And then when they come out, they continue doing the same in civilian. It's a melting pot for an immigrating society, and very like the Indian society, which is very different, in languages, in people, in cultures. So it has so many advantages that go beyond just defending the country, that for us it's working wonderful. I don't know how it will work for India. It's very hard for me to predict.